There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off fun from foxbangor.com.
Welcome back to the National Window Showdown. It's now time for our expert picks. My pick is Renewal by Andersen. Their customer service is exceptional, trustworthy, professional. Renewal by Andersen has to be the pick for me.
I love Renewal by Andersen for this too, Brian. They take care of the entire process from consultation to installation and beyond. They're second to none.
Guys, for me, it's the Fibrex. It's a no-brainer. Renewal by Andersen takes it to the house.
A clean sweep for Renewal by Andersen. They really are the better way to a better window.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, Bangor police struggle to find enough new officers to join the force.
Plus details on a bill that would help retiring members of the military to relocate to Maine.
And it's an effort to help farmers who can no longer use their land because of PFAS chemicals. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us today. Happy Valentine's Day out there. Hopefully everybody has fun.
Yeah.
Celebrating the day. Looks like you'll have a pretty nice day to do it, too, although the light snowfall we had this morning is going to come to an end as the morning rolls along, and then we should see some nice sunny weather, making all that new snow look nice.
Right, I know, just enough to make it pretty outside and a little messy, so be careful on the roads. Here's Stephen Biggs with the forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we are. A small crowd advisory is in effect. Here now lasts until about 11 p.m. as we head towards a Tuesday. Wave heights will continue to remain active along the coast, which is why this advisory is posted with the system moving out towards sea and a few snow showers that we are seeing this morning as well. All this right here moving from the northwest, going toward the south and east. This will clear out of here throughout the morning period. So by about 9, 10 o'clock, we'll be done with this. It will then become partly cloudy as we head toward the afternoon period. So the sun will begin to come out as all this right here continues to move from the west, going toward the east. So things will begin to calm down as we do proceed forward. But we will have to watch for a little bit more precipitation moving in later on this week. So Futurecast will show decreasing clouds this afternoon, maybe a few bits of fog in a few spots, but more clouds on the way as we head towards Wednesday morning. We have a little bit of wind to watch out for as well, mainly out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but really calming down later on tonight, but more wind just in time for Wednesday afternoon. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures rising to the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
New details this morning about a man charged with stabbing a neighbor in Bangor. 40-year-old Brandon Hamilton was arrested Sunday after he allegedly attacked a man who was also living at a home on Union Street. Hamilton told authorities he kicked in the door because he thought the victim was cooking methamphetamine. According to the Bangor Daily, the victim claims Hamilton also accused him of stealing a radio. The victim suffered stab wounds and several cuts, but is expected to survive. Hamilton is charged with burglary, aggravated assault, and other charges. He's being held on $5,000 cash bail.
One of the region's largest police departments is fighting an uphill battle while it tries to fill its vacant positions. Bangor police have been struggling to fill the ranks. Devin Dagnall has more on how they're addressing the issue.
According to Bangor Police Department Public Information Officer Jason McCambly, the Bangor Police Department is still short 10 officers, and he doesn't see any end in sight for the shortage.
It's low everywhere. It's low for every department, and we're kind of fortunate that we're only down 10. We were down 14 a couple of weeks ago. It's making do with less, and really the only thing you can do with less is less.
McCambly says the current shortage can be attributed to a number of things, but there are two factors that stick out above the rest. One problem is there is still a large backlog of students at the Maine Police Academy due to COVID, which is stopping new officers from getting started. The other is the type of calls Bangor police officers are known to respond to.
One of the things we hear is you deal with the homeless a lot. which is true.
McCambly says that a lot of officers are wary of dealing with Bangor's large homeless population. However, McCambly says there is a team being put together for the city that should take care of the majority of that problem.
We have our Bangor Community Action Team that is dealing with a lot of those calls that are not police calls. We call them welfare checks. And they're going to go out and handle those calls for us.
McCambly says that he hopes the presence of the Bangor Community Action Team, or BCAT, will show potential officers that their time will be largely spent on police work and not as much on what they perceive as social work. In addition to the BCAT program, McCambly says the city is also offering very competitive wages and schedules to new and current officers. But only time will tell if those changes will be enough to affect the police shortage. In Bangor, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And coming up later this week in our next Law Enforcement Town Hall, we'll talk with multiple area departments about the staffing challenges they face while they're struggling to hire and how they're confronting that new challenge.
New details this morning about a cold water rescue that took place in Searsmont. 2 men had to be pulled to safety Sunday after their UTV side-by-side crashed through ice on Bartlett Stream. Game officials say the driver immediately called a friend and his ex-wife, who called 911. The 2 riders then scurried on top of the submerged UTV to wait for help. A game warden and a Waldo County Sheriff's deputy were able to throw a life jacket and a rope to the pair and pulled them from the icy water. They had been in the water for about 30 minutes and had to be treated for hypothermia. The driver says they had just snowmobiled on that same stretch of ice 2 days before the accident. Game wardens say it shows how quickly ice can change, especially on moving water.
In other news, Senator Angus King is co-sponsoring legislation that would ban TikTok from operating here in the United States. The bill would prevent social media platforms from working in the U.S. if they are owned wholly or in part by foreign regimes deemed adversarial. The measure aims to protect Americans and their data from the governments of China, Russia, and other countries that the U.S. considers to be dangerous. Social media platforms would be able to continue operating in the U.S. if they relocated or were sold to a friendly nation.
A bill to expand career and technical education programs in middle schools in Maine has been introduced to the legislature. LD 33 would allocate funding for the programs. Senator Joe Rafferty of Kennebunk sponsored the bill. He says, quote, "As we have frequently heard, Maine faces numerous challenges in training the workforce needed by businesses statewide. That is particularly evident in the trades. The proposed legislation removes roadblocks and allows for the current career and technical education centers in Maine to expand their programs to middle schools within their service districts. The bill faces further action in the committee."
Well, on Monday, the Veterans and Legal Affairs Committee heard testimony for a proposed bill aimed at helping veterans relocate to Maine. A.J. Douglas talked to advocates to learn more.
LD 265 is a bill that would increase funding for an organization that provides support for active duty service members transitioning into civilian life. If approved by the Maine legislature, $200,000 would be awarded to organizations recruiting veterans moving to Maine.
We help translate their military skills and experiences into language that civilian hiring managers are going to understand. We're still a small community, and you're never more than 2 or 3 people away from being connected to anyone in the state. But if you're not from here, that can be a little bit daunting.
Boost to Roots is a nonprofit organization that assists transitioning military members, veterans, and their spouses by pairing them with a peer mentor after relocating to Maine in an effort to help them find meaningful employment.
Maine doesn't necessarily have a reputation for vibrant economic opportunity. They don't know about the great way of life here.
House Representative Leader Maureen Terry introduced the bill in hopes of supporting organizations like Boost to Roots in their efforts to get the word out about Maine's vibrant and ever-growing economic opportunities.
We're a small state, we're an aging state, and we want to make sure, but we're also awesome. And we want to make sure that folks from all over the country come here and lay roots here. Someday down the road, some kid will tell a story of how, his parent got to Maine and how they became a family, a Maine family.
The bill is set to go into a work session where committee members will further discuss if the initial bill should potentially be amended or approved to head to the House. If the bill is signed into law by the governor, $200,000 would be dispensed to the Department of Defense, Veterans, and Emergency Management to qualifying organizations in Maine performing outreach. AJ Douglas, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Farms destroyed by forever chemicals. It's a serious problem across Maine, and its full extent is still unknown. But for those who are aware they have contaminated land, it means they can no longer produce food and are unable to sell. As Mel Meyer reports, some lawmakers want the state to buy them out.
It's completely devastated us.
Dairy farmer Fred Stone had to slaughter most of the cows he had after he learned his land and water were tainted by PFAS.
It's completely, wiped us clean, just about.
And because it's contaminated, Stone can't sell his farm. So you're stuck with worthless land.
We're stuck with worthless land, yes, that we cannot do anything with.
Stone, like others, put sludge on his land, a wastewater treatment byproduct once used as fertilizer that we now know frequently contain PFAS.
The environmental agencies of the state of Maine told these farmers this substance was safe to spread on their farms.
But it wasn't. That's why Representative Wayne Perry is sponsoring a bill that would require the state to buy farms that were found to be contaminated before January 1st of this year.
Future ones, we're going to need future legislation, future allocations, future, more money down the road.
The purchase price would be at the assessed fair market value, but no less than $20,000 per acre. Even some supporters say that's too much.
We're also hesitant about putting an actual dollar amount in statute. We feel that it could cause issues in the future.
Others argue some of the land may be salvageable.
We want to do everything we can to clean it up and make it productive.
And state officials are already figuring out how to help affected farmers, with tens of millions of dollars devoted to this issue.
The process deserves an opportunity to play out.
But Perry wants a government to move faster because some farmers have already been waiting for years.
I guess it has been years since we found that out, the PFAS problem.
Tough situation for them.
Yep. New legislation was introduced at the State House yesterday that seeks to bolster a new drought relief program for Maine farmers. Senator Henry Ingwerson of Arundel says LD 315 would allow the state to take a proactive role in helping farmers access efficient and reliable water sources for irrigation in the wake of recurring drought conditions. Ingwerson says Maine has abundant water resources, but not necessarily enough at the right place or at the right time. He says the changing climate is making water availability more unpredictable, and the new legislation can help ensure the future of the industry. I know the story before this one, it seemed like he was a dairy farmer, so I asked you, but how would it have, he's a dairy farmer, how would the land affect him? So that seems to be the answer there. Well, the time now is 8:13. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, Maine boaters may have to take an extra step to stop the spread of invasive species from Maine waterways.
But first, another check of our weather forecast. Looks like the clouds will break up a little bit as the day moves along. We'll see some sun today with highs near 35. Partly cloudy tonight with a low around 20. Tomorrow, we have a chance of rain. It will be warm, though, with a high near 43 degrees.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event at your all-wheel drive headquarters, giving you, for a short time only, cash-saving deals. Right now, you could save up to $1,100 cash with low 3.99% financing on most four-wheel drive Tacoma models. And every Tacoma comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. Hurry to the Toyota Washington's Birthday Sales Event for cash-saving deals only at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's the biggest sporting event in Eastern Maine.
A tradition like no other.
We followed your high school teams all season long.
And no station will have better basketball coverage.
Fox 22, your home for the Maine High School Basketball Tournament.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. The Bangor School Department is considering establishing their own health clinic. According to Bangor School Department Communications Director Ray Finney, the idea is in the talking stages currently. The decision comes after the Penobscot Community Health Care Clinic at Bangor High School opened almost a year ago in 2022 and has proven to be a success. Finney told us high school students have been using this clinic so much it now has a wait list. The new clinic will be multi-purpose aid for students in the Bangor School District. Besides providing mental health counseling, the clinic also administers immunizations, tests for common illnesses, and physicals for students in order for them to participate in extracurricular activities.
Well, some good news from the Internal Revenue Service for the 21 states, including Maine. The IRS has announced that residents will not need to report any special tax fund or payment that they received in the past year. This comes after the IRS mentioned last Wednesday that the agency will be providing guidance to clarify whether these payments would be federally taxed or not. During its review, the IRS determined that it will not challenge the taxability of such payments related to general welfare and disaster relief. For a full list of states affected, visit irs.gov, and that's pertaining to those $450 checks we all just received in the mail.
Good point.
Yeah.
Come this summer, getting your boat out of the water could involve an extra step. That's because boaters could be required to drain their boats and trailers. It's part of an effort to stop the spread of invasive species. A bill, which had a public hearing Monday, directs people to drain their boat and trailer or any equipment that can hold water. It's already against the law to transport any aquatic plants on a boat or trailer in the state, but some invasive species like zebra mussels may be hard to see in parts of the boat that hold water. And these pests were just found up in Quebec, which is a real concern for environmental groups.
Zebra mussels are very invasive. They spread really, really quickly, and they're microscopic. They don't have any predators, so if they got into our water bodies, it could be really, really devastating.
This is an emergency bill, so if lawmakers pass it, this would go into effect as soon as the governor signs it. That's very interesting. I think it's interesting how it's illegal to transport aquatic plants, but it's like you have to assume that keeping any water in your boat or trailer, you could be transporting those things.
You know, it only takes a little sliver, too, because a lot of these things like milfoil, they have seeds on them.
Right.
They can completely dry out, freeze to the side of an engine, for example.
Freeze, that's a good point.
Until they just kind of become dried on there. And then as soon as they hit water again, they'll propagate again, and they can create some problems.
Right, so even if you're well-intentioned and you're going over everything else perfectly, there still may be something.
I'm not sure how you're going to drain every little bit of your boat, but, maybe they'll come up with something as they move forward.
Right.
I don't think anybody, including boaters, wants to spread any of these invasive species because we love our waterways.
That would be a great villainous plot, though.
Yeah, right. All right, well, the time now is 8:19. Coming up after the break, ever heard of the practice of ghost writing? We'll learn the secret of one man from Mount Desert who has made his living by ghost writing for others. And now he's ready to share his secrets.
That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
The automotive equivalent of saying, let's get this party started. The turbocharged, tech-inspired Kia Forte. Kia, movement that inspires.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Pond Hill Farms in Brooks, Maine offers 100% grass-fed beef in a variety of ways. Choose between individual cuts that are state inspected and ready to pop in your fridge or freezer. If you're looking to stock up, Pond Hill Farms offer the option to purchase hanging weight by quarter, half, or whole. We also offer live cattle if you're looking to grow your own herd. Pond Hill Farms also offer rental cottages with spectacular views of the farm and the Maine outdoors. Whether you're looking for fresh Maine meat or a gorgeous place to vacation, Pond Hill Farms is the place to be.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
The Mad Singer is back!
Fox Wednesday. Don't miss the most beloved unmasking in history.
Our greatest reveal ever.
The whole world loves you so much.
The Masked Singer season premiere, Wednesday on Fox.
Lease a new 2023 Niro Hybrid LX for $309 a month during the President's Day sales event.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. A man from Mount Desert has a career unlike any other. Alex Cody Foster spent a decade as a ghostwriter, working behind the scenes to pen dozens of books without ever revealing his own identity.
Now, as Jody Hersey tells us, he's ready to share his secret and his passion for writing with others.
Yeah, I've been telling stories all my life, I guess. So it's not so much a job or vocation or anything like that. It feels like a way of life.
For 10 years, Alex Cody Foster has enjoyed a quiet and productive career as a ghostwriter in the coastal town of Mount Desert, authoring books that someone else receives the credit for.
A ghostwriter is someone who can step into the shoes of another and resume their stride perfectly. A good ghostwriter can set aside their own biases and perhaps even learn something new from their subject.
Foster has worked on close to 60 books, 30 of which he says he's ghostwritten.
We have 3 voices, and one of them is the omniscient voice. That's the one in our heads saying, don't do this thing or do that thing. And then we have our speaking voice, the ones that we're using right now. But then there's a third voice, and that's the literary voice. When I work with an author, my job is to provide that voice for that person because they don't have it.
Being a ghost has allowed Foster to travel and to make a living doing what he loves.
I did quit my day job, and I had some money in the bank, and I basically said, once this money runs out, I got to get a job, or I'll make it. And I ended up making it.
Now, Foster is using his writing talents to assist others who may want to be novelists. He's created GhostWritingUniversity.com, a course to help wannabe writers break into the literary world.
It's Ghostwriting University, yeah. It's my passion project. Whatever makes you feel that fluttering in your chest, you got to go for it, no matter what.
In Mount Desert, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Indeed is that. Well, tomorrow we'll hear why Foster decided to use his own name on a book, putting his life in danger to share a true story of his experiences running from the law alongside a man that he thought he knew. Sounds like an interesting book.
That is really exciting.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to see somebody taking their passion and making it accessible for others and helping them learn it as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, the time now is 8:24.
Let's get a full look at that weather forecast. Here's Devin.
All righty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we are. A small craft advisory is in effect along the coast until about 11 p.m. as we head towards this evening as we continue to watch the system moving away from the coastline. And we've had a little bit of snowfall following it as well. But we do have wave heights that are high as a result of this at around 5 to 12 feet according to some of the buoys, and especially closer toward land are still rather active. That is why a small craft advisory is in effect at this time. Alrighty, here we are. The snow's moving in from the west, going toward the east, so we'll keep this going for most of the morning period. By about 9 o'clock or so, this will get out of here, and we'll switch over to a partly cloudy sky as we head toward the afternoon period. So it means the sun will be making a return, so keep those sunglasses handy. You will need them this afternoon. Low pressure continues to move from the west to the east. That's what's giving us all the wave height issues. But we'll then be watching for another system off toward the west. I'll begin to track off towards the east and giving us more precipitation soon. Now, we do have a little bit of snow still on the ground at around 4 inches in Bangor, 23 inches in Caribou. So quite a sharp difference, though, with regards to the snowfall depths between the northern ends of the state and where Bangor is. And we might take a hit with this with regards to temperatures, and a little bit of rain now will be on the way soon. So decreasing clouds will be the general idea for us today. By tonight, maybe some fog trying to develop in a few spots, otherwise remaining partly cloudy. We'll have more clouds moving in as we head towards the Wednesday. Slight chances for a few rain showers, maybe mixing in with some snow farther out towards the north as we head towards the afternoon and evening time frame. And we'll keep those chances rolling at least through parts of early Thursday morning. So otherwise, though, nothing too crazy going on. Maybe a little bit of snow in the northern ends of the state before we're all finished up. Not much of anything further down toward the south near the Bangor area. However, though, we'll be watching for a little bit of rainfall as well in a few spots, with about 1/10 of an inch possible in some spots between now and as we head towards Thursday morning. Your forecast for today on this Valentine's Day, 35 degrees, morning snow showers, then partly cloudy with a north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As for tonight, 20 degrees, partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy, slight chance for rain showers, south wind at about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. So it'll be mostly cloudy on Thursday, highest in the low 50s. We'll hit the low 50s again on Friday, but just in the morning, we'll cool off during the afternoon with rain showers as well. 8 degrees for the low Friday night. We'll be mostly sunny on Saturday, highs in the upper 20s.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5, 2023 Motor Trend SUV of the year. Now lease a 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5 for $569 a month. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Welcome Welcome back to Good Morning Maine, and now for your national news. Concerns are growing over animal health in East Palestine, Ohio, after a train derailment led to the discharge of hazardous chemicals. Fox's Kyle Alexander has more from one animal owner whose animals are really struggling.
Taylor Holzer and his family run Parker Dairy. It's just outside East Palestine's original evacuation zone. Taylor is an ODNR registered fox keeper. A couple of his foxes broke their legs trying to run after the initial derailment. One of his foxes even died.
Out of nowhere, he just started coughing really hard and just shut down, and he had liquid diarrhea and just went very fast.
Taylor tells me all of his foxes have been sick and acting different since the weekend. Some have abnormally puffy faces, including the one he's holding. He says they are not eating properly. Many are dealing with stomach issues and are acting lethargic.
This isn't how a fox should act. He's very weak, limp. His eyes are very watery and weepy.
Some of the foxes are pacing rapidly in their pen, another sign they are not well. Taylor says the train derailment is causing all of these issues.
Smoke and chemicals from the train, it's the only thing that could cause it, because it doesn't just happen out of nowhere. The chemicals that we're being told are safe in the air, that's definitely not safe.
For the animals?
It's for animals or people.
Taylor hopes justice is served for the animals and people of East Palestine.
People's cats are getting sick and dying, and people's other birds that they have in their house that they weren't being able to evacuate either. It's not safe.
Meanwhile, in other news, police have confirmed that a suspect is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound following a shooting at Michigan State University last night, which required students to shelter in place and wait.
This truly has been a nightmare that we are living tonight, but we have remained laser focused on the safety of our campus, our students, and the surrounding community. We are relieved to no longer have an active threat on campus, while we realize that there is so much healing that will need to take place after this. We are sad to report that there have been 3 confirmed fatalities. This is in addition to the 5 victims who were injured and transported to the hospital. Some of those 5 victims still have life-threatening injuries.
The identities of those who were injured and killed have not been released at this time out of respect for their families. We'll have more information as it becomes available.
There's increasing concern over aerial objects being spotted and shot down over the U.S. and Canada. The total right now is 4, but there are reports the number of incursions into U.S. airspace may be far higher. China is being blamed for at least one of these violations. Fox's Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon with the latest.
And I want to reassure Americans that these objects do not present a military threat to anyone on the ground.
After landing at NATO headquarters in Brussels, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin addressed public fears for the first time since U.S. warplanes shot down 3 objects over North America since last Friday.
They do, however, present a risk to civil aviation and potentially an intelligence collection threat.
Austin said the Pentagon has not recovered any debris from the 3 recent incidents and still can't say what they were, adding they could be research aircraft flown by commercial entities. There's no evidence these objects came from China. After the Chinese spy balloon entered U.S. airspace, the U.S. Homeland Defense adjusted its radar.
The adjusting of the radar sensitivities, which means we're seeing more things than we would normally see, but we don't fully appreciate and understand exactly what we're seeing.
The head of NORAD was asked whether these were simply weather balloons.
I'm not going to categorize them as balloons. We're calling them objects for a reason.
The U.S. warplanes sent up to observe these objects before they were shot down were flying too fast past the object to make a positive identification and gave conflicting descriptions of the objects. Pentagon officials say it's not clear the last 3 were even transmitting any information. Off the coast of South Carolina, a crane ship lifted a large intact portion of the balloon's payload that has most of the craft's intelligence gathering apparatus.
Over the course of the weekend, they were able to raise some of the debris, including some of the electronics and in some of the structure.
Pentagon officials say they feel confident they will receive a motherlode of intelligence on the Chinese balloon surveillance program, which would have been lost if they had decided to shoot the balloon down over land. And tonight, the National Weather Service said all of its balloons are accounted for. At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
Other people are calling them UFOs, and I wish we would do that too, because at least it adds a bit of fun to this problem.
Sure. Yeah, who knows what they really are.
Right.
But I think they were calling them UFOs over the weekend,
right.
Which, of course, a lot of people think of aliens.
But, right, it's a stigmatized.
Anything up there, if you don't know what it is, could be a UFO.
It's an unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope, aliens.
Aliens.
Still to come here this morning, honored on the second half of our show. The Special Olympics Winter Games kicked off yesterday in Herman. We'll get a glimpse of the fun.
I think I know a few aliens around here, and they're definitely from another planet.
I think I might too.
Yeah. All right, more news coming up after this.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gass Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $1,250 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today is Tuesday, February 14th, 2023, and it is also Valentine's Day. The origins of the holiday are quite vague, but we do know that formal messages that we now call Valentines started to appear in the 1500s. And by the late 1700s, commercially printed cards were in use to celebrate this special holiday. It's always kind of nice to get a Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I know we talked last hour, and I just want to say again, personally, my favorite memories of Valentine's Day are back in elementary school when it would be normal for everybody to try to bring some in for each other and exchange them and then sit around and end the day just eating candy and being silly.
That's the blast. I think they still do that. I don't know. They,
the
Valentines were just simple little card things too, with, and you give them to your friends.
Right.
And,
Store-bought or homemade, it's all fun. And usually it all has candy in it, so that's always a plus.
Don't forget your sweetie today.
Right. Well, on this day in history, in 1849, in New York City, President James Knox Polk became the first serving U.S. president to have his photograph taken. And in 1889, the first trainload of fruit available for sale here on the East Coast left the station. That was all the way from California. It was filled with oranges for consumption. That would have been like the candy of the time.
Right, yeah.
All right, in 1899, we have a whole 19th century thing going on today. Our U.S. Congress started using voting machines for the very first time. I'd like to see what those look like then. And on this day in 1929, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre occurred in Chicago, with 7 gangsters being killed, allegedly on Al Capone's orders.
Well, for birthdays today, we have famous African-American abolitionist Frederick Douglass, who was born on this day back in 1817. And we also have a historic Maine birthday to tell you about as well. On this day in 1838, Margaret E. Knight was born in southern Maine, and she was an inventor who was described as a female Thomas Edison.
Very cool.
I need to learn more about her. We've been talking about her this morning. I can't believe I haven't heard about her before. But
I know.
I just love stories like that.
She was from York. Maybe
Well,
Central Maine, Southern Maine differences.
Yeah, have to look that up.
Yep. She invented the flat-bottomed paper bag, so it makes sense because it is more easily foldable, so stores can hold it better, and it works better that way.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Well, the weather, it looks like it's going to clear off pretty nice today. We'll still have some clouds around, but we should see some sunshine too. Perfect if you want to get out and enjoy today.
Here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we are. A small crowd advisory is in effect here now, lasts until about 11 p.m. as we head towards a Tuesday. Wave heights will continue to remain active along the coast, which is why this advisory is posted with the system moving out towards sea and a few snow showers that we are seeing this morning as well. All this right here moving from the northwest, going toward the south and east. This will clear out of here throughout the morning period. So by about 9, 10 o'clock, we'll be done with this. It will then become partly cloudy as we head toward the afternoon period. So the sun will begin to come out as all this right here continues to move from the west, going toward the east. So things will begin to calm down as we do proceed forward. But we will have to watch for a little bit more precipitation moving in later on this week. So Futurecast will show decreasing clouds this afternoon, maybe a few bits of fog in a few spots, but more clouds on the way as we head towards Wednesday morning. We have a little bit of wind to watch out for as well, mainly out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but really calming down later on tonight, but more wind just in time for Wednesday afternoon. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, temperatures rising to the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, athletes are continuing a decades-long tradition here in Maine. On Monday, competitors strapped on their snowshoes to kick off the Penobscot, Piscataquis, and Hancock area Special Olympics Winter Games. The area co-manager, Christina Earhart, says although it hasn't yet reached the same attendance as the Summer Games, the Winter Special Olympics has been steadily growing in popularity.
We're excited. We have about 150 athletes participating in snowshoe, downhill ski, speed skating, and Nordic ski.
According to Earhart, all of Monday's events were adult time trials. The competition was fierce, but there were those who were just happy to have fun with their friends.
We do a lot together. We've been practicing every day. Yeah. With all our friends. Cool. We come out, hang out here, do our snowshoeing every day, practicing that.
The events are continuing today with finals for both adults and school-age athletes at Herman Mountain from 9 this morning until 3 p.m. Awards will be given out after each event. And I think a big part of it is they just have a blast with their friends out there, and there's no shortage of smiles.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know they have a bunch of different stuff going on there. The skiing, snowshoeing keeps them busy. That's awesome. Yep. And a full day, and the weather's good for them.
Right.
All right. Still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have your sports updates.
We'll also be hearing about a fun event coming up in Skowhegan. Don't go away.
Come try one of our daily specials at Pat's Pizza in Hamden.
Tuesday, spaghetti or ziti with meatballs or sausage, only $5.50.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizza, only $8.50.
Thursday, get an oven-baked wrap for only $6.
Friday is fish and fries for only $8.
And Saturday, get a small one-item pizza with a fountain soda, only $8.
Bring the family to Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road, North Hamden.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home Experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
Dad, not another showing.
After getting into a car accident, my husband and I were unsure of how to deal with the other insurance company.
We made the decision to reach out to the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
One phone call got the ball rolling.
It was a free evaluation, but it was a big relief.
They were easy to work with, and it was clear right away that they cared about our situation.
Knowing that we had Joe's team working for us
and fighting for us
meant that I could focus on healing.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service.
Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
25 words or less.
Do this with me, boys. Ready? It's just a game.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We'll start with some cheer. Over the weekend, cheerleading state championships were held for classes A, B, C, and D down at the Augusta Civic Center, a venue we'll get pretty used to here over the next few weeks. But anyways, coming away with their first ever Class B state title this weekend was the Ellsworth Eagles. The Eagles earlier in the week won the Class B Northern Maine Championship right on their home floor. And then they took first place again for the state title. They returned home Saturday night to a first responders escort surrounded by their community. And they just tell me that being able to make history is something they'll never forget.
We sat as a group at the beginning of the year, and we all said what was our goal, and our goal was to be state champs. And so to have that feeling right now just feels great.
There was a long pause, so we were all sitting there. We could all just hear each other. We were like, please, 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 please. And we could all hear each other, and as soon as they said Ellsworth, it was immediate jump up and down, like crying, tears, picking people up. Like it was amazing. It was unreal.
Now, if you've ever been to a cheer competition or seen these girls in action, cheerleading's a sport where having the whole squad on the same page is absolutely vital. And it's that team unity and their passion for the sport that makes the Eagles the 2023 state champs.
Our team at the beginning of the year was very separated, but we all learned how to come together and we became more of a team, and I think that's what finally got us to the state title that we got.
It means a lot to our school and our community and to us that we really made history all as one, and we did it together.
We all had the passion and dedication for the sport and for each other. Our coaches said that they've never had a team like that before, where they've had the talent and the passion, and it was everybody on our team, and it just made everything work.
All right, a big congratulations to them. Let's stay in Ellsworth now and over to the hardwood. The varsity teams prep for play-ins and the tournament on Monday, but Unified is in full swing with the Eagles also in action Monday. They're being paid a visit by the Coyotes from Old Town, a 3:30 tip in this one, so a little Monday matinee. We'll kick it off in the first half. The junior, Evan Hasselbrack for Old Town, spotting up from long range, and the bank is very open in Ellsworth. For the Eagles, it's Garrett Brown. He's running the fast break, taking it all the way himself to the hoop for two. We call it a coast-to-coast. On the other end now, for the Coyotes, Lilia Kalala. She takes it, gets it into the paint, and then she is going to bank the two-point bucket home for them. This one was back and forth all game. Here is Connor Hughes for the Eagles, the swim star. He nails the two-pointer, and Ellsworth wins this one. 69-64 is your final score. Staying a hardwood here, Maine women's basketball in action in the border battle with New Hampshire. Black Bears trying to get back in the win column. First quarter ball inside to Adriana Smith. She gets the two to fall. Another big day for the sophomore. Second quarter, Wildcats with it. Nice move here from Breezy Williams. She's going to connect on the mid-range. We're skipping ahead to the third quarter here. J.C. Christopher over to Liv Rockwood. She wants all three of those. That puts Maine up one. Just a couple of plays later, not a replay. Christopher to Rockwood again, as Mike Breen would say, bang. And she wasn't done. To start the fourth, here she is again. Splashes home her third in a row. And then one more wouldn't hurt anybody, right? Rockwood goes on a 12-0 run by herself. Maine pulls out the win in Durham, 56-45. All right, let's hit the ice now up in Orono. OTO hosting Holton Hodgson Co-op, the Blackhawks and the Black Bears. Second period, Bears with a chance, but Dawson Cole is going to come up with a huge stop right there. On the other way now, here comes Connor Linz for the Blackhawks. He's going to snipe that one top shelf. That's going to make it a 2-1 game. OTO in the lead. Here's Dylan Davis with it. A nice pass to Nathan Kulina. And he is going to beat Cole right there. That's going to make it 3-1 Black Bears. Here they are looking for more. It's Davis. A great move. Gets to open ice, and he hits the post. And Cole is there to cover it up, keeping it a 3-1 game now. Davis to Kalina. Over to Ian Bouchard. He gets the one-timer to go. Black Bears win it. 4-2 is your final. All right, now it is my favorite season. Not late winter, no, but it's high school basketball postseason here in Maine. We had one Class D South prelim on Monday, but for all of our northern teams, all of the playoff action starts on Tuesday. Let's take a look at a few of the games here. MCI is visiting Presque Isle at 5:30 in some Class B girls prelim action. Also in Class B girls prelim action, Herman heads up to Foxcroft. That one is at 6:15. PCHS heads to Central. That's at 5 p.m. in Corinth. And then for Class C girls, Sumner is in Narragansett. That one's at 6 p.m. Mattanock also is hosting Stearns in Class C. Belfast is at MDI in Class B. And then Bangor Christian is going to head to Jonesport Beals in Class D. Couldn't fit all of that on the screen, but I am excited. It is finally here. That's all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Here at Garrett's Auto Sales, we believe in fair prices, superior service, and always treating the customer right. We have a fantastic selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, with some priced under $10,000. All our vehicles come with a complimentary 30-day warranty and can be seen at garrettsauto.com. Come see us at Garrett's Auto Sales, where we focus on you, the customer. We're located just 2 miles from the Brewer Walmart on Route 1A. We look forward to meeting you.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Toyota trains certified technicians. Is that important?
Well, you wouldn't hire just anyone to help you move, would you?
No.
Of course not.
Not again.
Get your Toyota ready for the year's coldest and harshest weather. See your New England Toyota dealer for great service offers to help keep your Toyota dependable and fuel efficient all winter long. Toyota Service Centers. Keep your Toyota a Toyota.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We're here with Christina Cannon. She's the Executive Director of Main Street Skowhegan. And you folks are putting on Somerset Snow Fest. Christina, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here to chat about Snowfest.
Yeah. So, okay, Main Street Skowhegan in conjunction with Lake George Regional Park is putting on this cool event, right?
Yeah, this is our 5th year partnering with Lake George, and they host tons of events at the park, and we take care of some other events in the Skowhegan downtown area, and we're excited to be partnering on this event for another year.
I know. I'm excited to hear about it. I didn't realize until this morning, 10-day long event, right?
Yep.
What do you get? What's happening every day that you have enough stuff to do for 10 days?
It's lots of outdoor activities all in the Skowhegan area. So it ranges from like Canaan over in Lake George to even in Madison. We've got some activities out at Lakewood Golf Course on the trails over there. So
gotcha.
Everything from snowshoeing and cross-country skiing to scavenger hunts, a Yeti hunt, which is new this year. We do, of course, we have a kayak race, a downhill kayak race.
Right, I saw that one. That makes for good
what's
photos.
What's with that? You get in a kayak and you go down a hill?
Is that how you do it? Yeah. And actually this year, Lake George has built up the hill a little bit by adding like a launching point, so you'll go a little faster
extra
and farther.
Danger.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Extra speed.
Right. I also saw a fishing derby, kite flying derby, a triathlon, equestrian skijoring.
Yeah, what's that?
What's that?
Yeah. So actually, we were the first in Maine, and now we are not the only one. Topsom just had their event this past Saturday, but we host an event at the Skowhegan State Fairgrounds where it's a horse and rider pulling either a skier or a snowboarder behind the horse down the track at the fairgrounds.
Cool.
It's time trials, so basically you get 2 races, and there's a couple of different. So you're in the novice or in the pro division, and you race for cash prizes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So is everybody who's taking part in a lot of things, have they already registered, or is there still time for people to register for most of the events?
There's still time to register. Skijoring is not until next Saturday, the 25th, so we're still taking teams, although I think we're pretty close to 50 teams so far, so that's awesome.
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, it's so fun. I'm so happy that we've got a team of people that are really excited about taking care of the horses and the skiers, but I get to my job is to parole the grandstand and make sure everything's happening okay over by the grandstand, and so I get to watch every single all the racers. It's great.
Why do something like this? I mean, we're in the middle of winter. Maybe that says it all right there.
Sure, I mean, there's a number of reasons. I would say the first and foremost is that we want to get people to Skowhegan in a kind of an off time. You know, our business is reported as a relatively slow time of year, but last year they reported great numbers coming out of Snowfest, particularly on the Skijoring day, where we bring a couple thousand people to Skowhegan. Our businesses are happy to have those people in town spending money locally. So.
Definitely. I mean, easily, being in Bangor, this is a no-brainer to make the drive to Skowhegan because the amount of events. I also saw a critical part to make this a true festival. There's a beer tent with local beer, right?
Yeah. Always beer in Skowhegan.
Gotcha. And this kicks off on Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday night we are we have a kickoff party at Bigelow Brewing.
Cool.
Bigelow Brewing and Baxter Brewing actually collaborated on a beer, the official Snowfest beer. So we'll be launching that on Friday night rather, and then we'll have that at places throughout the week. But and then the next day that we have a beer tent at Lake George Regional Park. There's also the Ice Hole official Ice Hole World Championship, which is a cool event. So we'll have beer for that, and then the Skijoring event we have a beer tent and food trucks coming to that. So
that sounds very exciting. What kind of beer is it?
It's a cream ale.
Yum. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, that's all very exciting, Christina. I think we're about out of time, but thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll throw it over to Devin Diggs for our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, here we are. A small crowd advisory is in effect along the coast until about 11 p.m. as we head towards this evening as we continue to watch the system moving away from the coastline. And we've had a little bit of snowfall following it as well. But we do have wave heights that are high as a result of this at around 5 to 12 feet according to some of the buoys, and especially closer toward land are still rather active. That is why a small crowd advisory is in effect at this time. Alrighty, here we are. The snow's moving in from the west, going toward the east, so we'll keep this going for most of the morning period. By about 9 o'clock or so, this will get out of here and we'll switch over to a partly cloudy sky as we head toward the afternoon period. So it means the sun will be making a return, so keep those sunglasses handy. You will need them this afternoon. Low pressure continues to move from the west to the east. That's what's giving us all the wave height issues. But we'll then be watching for another system off toward the west. I'll begin to track off towards the east and giving us more precipitation soon. Now, we do have a little bit of snow still on the ground at around 4 inches in Bangor, 23 inches in Caribou. So quite a sharp difference, though, with regards to the snowfall depths between the northern ends of the state and where Bangor is. And we might take a hit with this with regards to temperatures, and a little bit of rain now will be on the way soon. So decreasing clouds will be the general idea for us today. By tonight, maybe some fog trying to develop in a few spots, otherwise remaining partly cloudy. We'll have more clouds moving in as we head towards the Wednesday. Slight chances for a few rain showers, maybe mixing in with some snow farther out towards the north as we head towards the afternoon and evening time frame. And we'll keep those chances rolling at least through parts of early Thursday morning. So otherwise, though, nothing too crazy going on. Maybe a little bit of snow in the northern ends of the state before we're all finished up. Not much of anything farther down toward the south near the Bangor area. However, though, we'll be watching for a little bit of rainfall as well in a few spots, with about 1/10 of an inch possible in some spots between now and as we head towards Thursday morning. Your forecast for today on this Valentine's Day, 35 degrees, morning snow showers, then partly cloudy with a north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. As for tonight, 20 degrees, partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, 43 degrees, mostly cloudy, slight chance for rain showers, south wind at about 25 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. So it'll be mostly cloudy on Thursday, highest in the low 50s. We'll hit the low 50s again on Friday, but just in the morning, we'll cool off during the afternoon with rain showers as well. 8 degrees for the low Friday night. We'll be mostly sunny on Saturday, highs in the upper 20s.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Welcome back to the National Window Showdown. It's now time for our expert picks. My pick is Renewal by Andersen. Their customer service is exceptional, trustworthy, professional,